Most people think the bathroom is the safest room in the house. For anyone over 60, it can be the most unforgiving because bathroom emergencies don't look dramatic. They look normal, right up until they aren't. A hot shower, a wet floor, a locked door, a small dizzy spell you try to shake off. And the deadliest part, the bathroom gives trouble a head start. Hard surfaces, tight space, and privacy that delays rescue. If something goes wrong in there, it often goes wrong quietly, and time becomes the real enemy. Today we're counting down the 5 deadliest bathroom habits many 60-plus people do daily. For each one, you'll see the exact moment it flips from routine to emergency, the chain of mistakes that repeats, and one survival rule that breaks it. Let's begin. Number 5. Straining on the toilet and triggering a lights-out moment. This is the one nobody likes talking about, but it shows up in real emergencies more than people think, especially after 60. Because the bathroom isn't dangerous just because it's slippery. It's dangerous because it's private, and your body is doing things in there that can flip your wiring in seconds. Here's the scene: you sit down, you're trying to get it over with, and it's not happening. So you do what most people do. You hold your breath, tighten your belly, and push like you're lifting something heavy. That breath hold strain is the trigger. It's called a Valsalva maneuver, and it can mess with blood flow and blood pressure in a way that hits older bodies harder, especially if you're dehydrated, on blood pressure meds, have heart rhythm issues, or you just stood up and walked in there fast. It spikes in the morning after meals or when you're sick, hungover and dried out. For a moment, less blood reaches the brain. And when the brain doesn't like what it's getting, it pulls the plug. People describe the warning the same way: a sudden sweat, ears ringing, vision narrowing like a tunnel, a wave of nausea, that I'm about to black out feeling. The mistake is thinking you can finish first. Because if you faint in a bathroom, you don't faint onto carpet. You faint into porcelain, tile, and sharp edges. A sideways slump can put your head into the tub, the floor, the toilet tank, the towel bar, whatever is closest. And head injuries in older adults are not walk-it-off injuries. Even a fall that looks small can become a big problem hours later, and it doesn't have to be a full blackout to hurt you. The near miss is brutal too because it makes you panic and stand up fast. You grab something that was never meant to hold a person, like a towel rack. Your legs are weak, your balance is late, and one wrong step becomes a second fall. There's another quiet danger here: time. Bathroom doors are closed, fans are running, and everyone outside assumes privacy. So even when someone collapses, the first response is hesitation, then knocking, then waiting. That delay is how a fixable moment becomes an ambulance moment. So here's the survival rule for number 5, simple, and it works. If you feel any warning signs: tunnel vision, ringing ears, sudden sweat, nausea, stop straining immediately. Don't push once more. Don't try to stand up. Do this instead. Exhale, relax your belly, and lower your head forward with your elbows on your knees. If you still feel faint, get down to the floor on purpose. It's not dramatic. It's smart. The floor is where you can't fall. And if you live alone, keep your phone within reach in the bathroom, not across the counter, so you can call before you collapse. And the bigger prevention rule is even more important after 60. Stop treating straining like it's normal. If it doesn't happen, don't brute force it. Hydrate, add fiber, use a small footstool to change the angle. Don't sit there scrolling for 20 minutes. And if constipation is frequent, you see blood, or you've ever gotten dizzy on the toilet, bring it up with a clinician, because the goal isn't to tough it out. The goal is to never give the bathroom a chance to make one private moment permanent. And if that one scares you, good, because the next habit doesn't wait for you to strain at all. It hits the moment you stand up, and the bathroom turns into a hard floor trap. Number 4, stepping out of a hot shower too fast and letting dizziness turn into a hard floor crash. This one is brutal because it doesn't feel like danger. It feels like routine. You take a hot shower, you stay in a little longer because the heat feels good on stiff joints. The steam relaxes you. Your muscles loosen, your breathing slows. For a few minutes, everything in your body says, good, safe, calm. Then the water turns off and your brain switches to move. You step out fast, you reach for the towel, you bend for the mat, you twist toward the sink like you've done 1,000 times. And that's the moment it can flip, because your body is still catching up to the heat you were standing in. Warm steam opens blood vessels. That's normal. It's how you cool down. The downside is that your blood pressure can dip without you noticing. Most days, your body corrects it in time. But after 60, that correction can be slower. And if you're dehydrated, sick, haven't eaten, or you're on blood pressure medication, it gets even easier for a fine moment to turn into a dizzy one. ER staff see this exact pattern constantly. Someone just got out of the shower, felt strange for 1 second, then hit the hardest surfaces in the house. It doesn't start with pain, it starts with a warning wave people don't respect. A quick head rush, a hollow drop in the stomach, vision tightening like a tunnel, ears ringing, that sudden urge to grab something, anything before you fall. Freeze that moment, because this is where most people make the mistake that turns dizziness into injury. They try to push through it. They take one more step for the towel. They reach for the towel rack like it's a handle. They grab the shower curtain like it can hold body weight. They step onto wet tile without really knowing where their feet are because their balance system is half a beat behind. And in a bathroom, a half beat is enough. Even if you don't fully faint, the near faint is dangerous because it makes you scramble. Scrambling creates slips, twists, and impacts. Hips, wrists, shoulders, heads. And after 60, a fall doesn't need to look dramatic to change your life. A hard hit can cause a head injury that doesn't announce itself right away. A sideways crash can mean a hip fracture that steals independence overnight. The bathroom makes it worse because it's quiet in the wrong way. The fan is running, the door is closed. If you live with people, they assume you're fine because they assume privacy. That delay, the pause before anyone realizes this is real, is how injuries get a head start. So here's the survival rule. Treat the exit like it's part of the shower. When you shut the water off, don't launch into motion, pause. Put a hand on the wall, take 2 slow breaths. Let your body catch up before you bend, twist, or reach. And if that dizzy wave hits, if your vision tightens, your ears ring, or the room tilts, sit down immediately. Not after you grab the towel, not after one more step, immediately. The safest move in that moment isn't toughness. It's removing falling distance before your body removes it for you. Because the shower isn't what hurts people. It's the rushed exit, plus wet tile, plus 1 second of dizziness that nobody respects. And the next habit is even sneakier, because it looks like being clean, while it quietly turns your bathroom into a fume box your lungs can't outvote. Number 3, deep cleaning with strong chemicals. In a closed bathroom that turns into a fume box. This one starts with good intentions. You look around and decide the bathroom needs a real clean, not the quick wipe, a serious scrub. The kind where the grout looks brighter, the toilet looks brand new, and the whole room smells like clean for hours. So you grab what most people grab, a strong cleaner, maybe bleach, maybe a mildew spray, maybe a toilet bowl product that promises it will destroy germs on contact. You close the door because you don't want the smell drifting through the house. You might flick the fan on. Then you lean in and get to work because bathrooms are small and the dirt always hides in corners. At first it feels productive. Spray, scrub, rinse, repeat. Then the warning starts and people treat it like part of the job. Your eyes sting a little. Your throat feels scratchy. You cough once. You keep going because you've been trained to believe strong chemicals are supposed to feel strong. You assume discomfort means the product is working. Freeze right there, because that belief is exactly how this becomes dangerous, especially after 60. A bathroom is basically the perfect chamber for chemical exposure. It's a small enclosed room with hard surfaces that trap vapors, warm water that boosts evaporation, and a person leaning in close with their face right over the source. Every breath is concentrated, every minute adds up. And emergency responders hear the same sentence again and again. I was just cleaning my bathroom. Here's what people don't realize. You don't need to be reckless for this to hurt you. You just need the wrong mix, the wrong amount, or the wrong airflow. Sometimes it's obvious. Someone uses one product, doesn't like the result, and adds another because they assume more cleaning power equals more safety. A toilet bowl cleaner, then bleach. A mildew remover, then something else. And in that closed room, the reaction can release fumes that hit fast-burning eyes, chest tightness, coughing that won't stop. But the slower version is what makes this deadly for older adults. Irritation that turns into inflammation. You step into the hallway, the coughing eases, and you tell yourself you're fine. Then you go right back in because the bathroom still needs cleaning. That back and forth is a trap because inhalation injuries don't always peak immediately. The airway can swell later after you've already finished and forgotten. For someone with asthma, COPD, a sensitive airway, or a heart that doesn't love stress, that delayed swelling can turn into real breathing trouble. And there's another layer people miss: oxygen. In a small room filled with strong fumes, you don't breathe normally. You take shallow breaths, you hold your breath, you rush. Your body gets stressed, and stress makes everything worse. Dizziness, chest pressure, panic. Now you've got the same bathroom problem again. Hard surfaces, tight space, and a door that makes rescue slower if you suddenly can't breathe well enough to call out. So the survival rule for number 3 is simple, and it's not about fear, it's about treating fumes like smoke. If your eyes burn, your throat stings, you start coughing, or your chest feels tight, that is your trigger. Do not finish the job. Stop immediately. Get out into fresh air and stay out until you feel completely normal again. And before it gets to that point, make one change that prevents most of this. Keep airflow aggressive, fan on, door open when possible, and never combine products. One at a time. Less spray than you think you need. If the smell is powerful, the air is already overloaded. Because the danger isn't the label on the bottle. The danger is the tiny room that concentrates everything you're breathing. And the next habit is worse in a different way, because it doesn't attack your lungs. It attacks your balance right at the moment your feet meet the floor. Number 2, locking the bathroom door and turning a small emergency into a no-rescue situation. This one feels like the most normal habit in the world. You're not doing it because you're afraid. You're doing it because it's what people do. Privacy, dignity, routine. You walk in, you close the door, and you click the lock without even thinking. And most days, nothing happens. But after 60, the bathroom is one of the most common places for sudden trouble, dizziness, fainting, slips, blood pressure drops, heart rhythm episodes, a bad cramp that makes you sit down fast, even a simple loss of balance. And here's the part people don't understand until it happens. Bathrooms don't just create accidents, they delay help. Emergency responders and caregivers see this pattern constantly. It's rarely a dramatic scream. It's usually quiet, a thud that sounds like a shampoo bottle, a heavy drop that could be a cabinet, or sometimes nothing at all. And silence in a bathroom sounds like privacy. So the first response from someone outside the door is almost always hesitation. They knock, they wait, they assume you're fine, they assume you can't hear, they assume you're ignoring them because you're in the bathroom. They knock again, they call your name, then they try the handle locked. And the second the handle doesn't turn, the situation changes. Now it's not check on them, now it's how do we get in? That's where this habit turns deadly, because most bathroom locks aren't designed for speed in a real panic. The little coin slot release? Most people don't know it exists. The tiny emergency key? Missing. The pinhole release? Nobody has the tool. And when fear hits, people don't think clearly. They search. A drawer, a junk bowl, a toolbox, a random key ring. They try to remember where that bathroom key thing is. Meanwhile, on the other side of the door, seconds are stacking into minutes. And in certain emergencies, minutes are not inconvenient. Minutes are the difference between reversible and permanent. Now add the detail that turns this from stressful to terrifying. Many bathroom doors open inward, so even if someone manages to unlock the door, there's another possibility nobody considers until it's too late. If the person inside collapses near the doorway, if their legs, shoulder, or body ends up pressed against it, the door may not open at all. Not because it's locked, because the person is blocking it. Now you've got a locked room problem with a human wedge. People start pushing, shoulder slams, kicks. Someone tries to lift the door off the hinges. Someone calls emergency services while everyone else panics. And even if help is on the way, there's still a stretch of time where the person inside is alone with whatever is happening. And the bathroom is the worst room to be alone in. Hard surfaces, tight angles, little space to reposition. If someone is unconscious, their breathing can be compromised by how they landed. If someone hit their head, bleeding can be happening where you can't see it. If someone is conscious but confused, they may not be able to speak loudly enough to be understood through the door. That's why locking the bathroom door makes this list. Not because privacy is wrong, but because locks turn small problems into no access. And no access is where emergencies become tragedies. So here's the survival rule for number 2. It's simple, practical, and it saves lives. If you're home alone, keep the bathroom door closed but unlocked. If you live with someone, make sure your bathroom lock can be opened from the outside quickly, and make sure the people you live with actually know how to do it before you ever need it, because privacy should never cost you rescue time. And number 1 is the habit that looks the most harmless of all, but it quietly sets the trap that makes falls almost inevitable. Number 1, walking on a wet floor like it's normal and letting one small slip turn into a life-changing fall. This is number 1 because it's not a rare accident, it's a daily setup. It's the way the bathroom stays slightly wet, slightly slick, slightly unpredictable, and people keep moving through it like the rules of friction still apply. Think about how it happens in real life, especially after 60. You shower and water tracks out with you. Not a flood, just that invisible sheen your eyes don't register. A few drops by the tub, a damp bath mat that looks fine but slides when it's loaded, a little puddle near the sink from washing up, a floor that's clean, glossy, and therefore slicker than you think. Then you do the most dangerous part. You move fast anyway. Maybe it's because you're cold and you want to get dressed. Maybe you're rushing. Maybe you wake up at night and head to the bathroom half asleep. Maybe you're wearing socks because your feet get cold, or slippers with a smooth bottom, or you're barefoot because it's just the bathroom. That's the trap. The bathroom doesn't need a dramatic slip to hurt you. It only needs one small loss of traction at the exact wrong moment when your weight is shifting and your balance is already slightly behind. And emergency responders see this pattern constantly. Someone didn't fall off anything. They simply lost footing on a normal bathroom floor and the room did the rest. Here's the part people don't respect enough. After 60, the cost of a fall multiplies. A slip isn't just a bruise. It can be a wrist fracture from trying to catch yourself. It can be a hip fracture from landing sideways. It can be a head strike that looks fine at first and then becomes dangerous later. And bathrooms are built out of the hardest surfaces in the house tile, porcelain, metal corners. So even a fall from standing height can hit like a hammer. Your foot lands and slides just a little. Not enough to fall, just enough to make your stomach drop. Most people do the worst possible thing next. They fight it upright. They stiffen. They take a quick corrective step. They twist their torso while their feet are still searching for grip. They reach for the towel rack. They grab the shower curtain. They try to save it with speed. But speed is what makes it worse. Because when traction is gone, quick movements turn into momentum, and momentum turns a near slip into a full fall. And here's the bathroom specific danger. Falls in there often happen when you're alone, behind a closed door with the fan running. If you hit your head, you might not be able to call out. If you break a hip, you can't stand. If you're stunned, you might just lie there and time starts doing what it always does. So the survival rule for number 1 is simple, but it has to become a habit. Treat bathroom floors like ice. Don't walk on wet tile and socks. Don't trust soft slippers with smooth soles. Don't step out and immediately start moving fast. Give yourself traction on purpose. A bath mat that actually grips shoes or sandals with rubber soles, and a floor that gets dried before you walk across it. And here's the step and trigger that saves people in the moment. The instant you feel your foot slide, even a millimeter, stop trying to win the balance fight standing tall. Lower your center of gravity. Put a hand on the wall or the counter. Bend your knees. Slow everything down. The goal is to remove speed before speed removes you. Because the deadliest bathroom habit isn't one dramatic mistake. It's treating a wet floor like it's normal until one ordinary step becomes the one you don't get back from. Before you click away, pick one habit from this list and change it today. Not next week, today. Because the bathroom doesn't give warnings twice. Now tell me in the comments which one hit you the hardest and which one are you actually guilty of. If you're 60 plus or caring for someone who is, I want to hear what you've seen in real life. And if you want more normal everyday routines exposed like this, hit subscribe. The next video is the 5 deadliest kitchen habits you do daily. And number 1 is something almost everyone does without thinking until it's too late.